the ongoing debate and looming court battle over the tobacco ban. British American Tobacco is still deciding when to take legal action over the cigarette ban. It had given the government until today to respond to its demands to lift the ban or face potential court action. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the state changed its mind on making cigarette sales legal on Friday after careful consideration as well as public consultation on the matter. Now, to discuss the issue more, I'm joined on the line by Savela Kalideen, who is the Executive Director of National Council Against Smoking, and she joins us via Skype. Very good afternoon to you, Savela. So your reaction to government sticking to its guns and saying that after public consultation, it has resolved to continue banning the sale of cigarettes.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having us. We are in support of government's action to maintain the ban on tobacco sales during the lockdown. So it is a temporary ban. Many civil society organizations, including ourselves, have issued a statement today in support of this decision by government to uphold the ban.
And what are your reasons for this, Savera?
So, even in your news now, you reported on COVID-19, and that is simply because COVID-19 is such an extraordinary disease, and it's having such a major impact on health, not only in our country, but globally. This is a new disease. We know some things about it, but there are many things that we don't know about it. There's emerging evidence that there's a very strong link to severe disease progression in cases where people are also smokers. When you compare the disease progression of smokers and non-smokers, you're seeing a very, very significant difference. And what that actually means is that if we have many smokers who contract COVID-19 and progress to a more severe form of the disease, then there will be a need for more ICU beds, more hospitalization, more ventilation. So the emerging evidence of this link between tobacco use and severe forms of COVID-19, as well as the link between smoking and other morbidities like cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, hypertension, is continuing to increase. We're getting more and more information. So government is required and has actually shown us and has acted on it. They've acted on the precautionary principle. They're saying we've got enough information now to act to protect the right to life, to protect the right to health, to protect the right to health services. And they have upheld the ban on the temporary ban on the sale of tobacco products to reduce the number of smokers that will be smoking and help reduce the severity of the disease that they might get if they contract COVID-19. This is the right thing to do. It is the responsibility of government to provide these health services to us and to also act within, our constitution, within the international frameworks, like the Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, like the frameworks on how to manage pandemics, so that they take early action, so that the disease does not accelerate to the extent that the health system cannot cope. So the intention is to reduce the burden and the strain on the health system. And you know that we already have a very high burden of disease, even outside of the COVID-19 pandemic. So anything that government can do within reason that is directly linked to supporting a reduction in severe disease progression for COVID-19 is something that we can all support and do support as civil society organizations that signed the statement today.
I'm quite interested, Savera, in the type of reactions that your organization has had from smokers who have had to quit cold turkey during this lockdown season.
That's a great question. Thank you for asking that. So we run a telephone counseling quit line where we provide people with smokers with support, tips, advice, a booklet, that gives them additional information on what they can do to stop smoking. We've also advised throughout the lockdown that people who need it purchase nicotine replacement therapy, which is legally available through pharmacies, and it will provide them with the nicotine that they feel that they need without any of the harm from the thousands of chemicals that we find in any form of tobacco, whether we're looking at snuff, we're looking at hookah pipes, we're looking at e-cigarettes or vapes, or in fact we're looking at cigarettes themselves. The nicotine that we get in those, that smokers get in those products, have a lot of harmful chemicals, and the replacement therapy from the pharmacy is relatively safer. So we've heard a mixture of things from people who've called us. A minority, fewer than 10%, have said that they found it a bit challenging. The majority have said they haven't found it very difficult, nor have they found it very easy. And 10% have said they found it very, very easy to stop. And they're saying that the information that they're receiving on a daily basis about COVID-19 and the link to lung health, the link to high blood pressure, the link to diabetes and heart disease has motivated them to take this action to protect their own health and to protect the health of their families. You will remember also that the Minister of Health told us just the other day that the health profile of most of the people who've died in South Africa is linked to these comorbidities like cardiovascular diseases, like diabetes, and like high blood pressure. And those diseases are themselves linked to tobacco consumption. So we're seeing this, coming together of the risk factors for disease progression in COVID-19, as well as risk factors for the other comorbidities that have been causing, that have caused many of the deaths in South Africa already.
Thank you so much. We'll leave it at that for now. That's Savela Kalideen there from the National Council Against Smoking. We do know that British American Tobacco says they will continue with their case against the President and against the regulations. We are awaiting feedback from them as to exactly when they'll be doing this.